Hey, buddy.
Hi, Bob.
Got bad news for you.
Okay, who doesn't like my position on what?
Nah, it's personal. I just talked to Father McShane. It looks like those annulment proceedings are going to be stalled.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah. And Mac thinks the thing to do is get a statement from Delia.
That her intention wasn't to marry me, but to marry into the family, which was sick and fraudulent even if it was unintentional.
Right, which Mac thinks could be definite grounds.
What do you think my chances are of getting a statement like that from Dee?
Not great. Of course, on the other hand,
No. Your first answer was the right one. Not great. I just can't help thinking that my chances of getting any, I know she's your sister, but getting any cooperation from Dee, unless, of course, there's something in it for her.
I don't know, Frank. You know, Dee, maybe lately she's been married to Roger. Everything's settled down. She's doing a lot better.
No. Why would she make my life any easier for me?
Well, you're not going to know if you don't try.
You know, I think I'll go up to New York and see Dee in person. Besides, I've already told Mary about Ray and myself. And I want to tell the folks, too, in person.
Where is that beer truck? Can you tell me that? Bad enough the whiskey's late. Do I have to have the beer late on top of that?
We're not going to run out if that's what you're worrying about.
I'd like to have some order in my life. Something I can count on.
Well, if your cocoa beans went up a point or two, it would make life easier for all of us.
You know, it really might just do that. Uh-oh. Hey, Dave!
Hello, Johnny.
Mr. Feldman, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
John, I'll go and check on that beer and see if I can get it over here quickly.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Can I get you a cup of coffee, Dave?
Oh, no, thanks. You know, I'm just in from Washington on the morning shuttle, and my digestive tract isn't quite settled yet. I saw quite a lot of Frank yesterday. He got me a pass at the Senate Visitors Gallery, and I watched him make a speech about his plan for children's medical care. He's doing a first-rate job.
We hear good things about him. But then again, people are inclined to tell you what they think you want to hear. I'm glad you're happy, Bill.
I also ran into Pat while I was down there. Fine young boy. You and Maeve must be proud to have two sons like that.
Look, Dave, you can say it. Maeve and I are just as upset about the situation as I know you and Beryl must be.
You know about him and Nancy.
I know. He's been going to Washington every chance he gets to see her, and she's been coming up here.
It is my impression that he spends the night, then catches a plane back in the morning.
I'm afraid that's the way things are, Dave.
John, it isn't that I don't think that Pat is a fine young man.
Now, look, they're both special kids, Dave. Nancy's as sweet and wonderful a girl as you could ask for.
It's your opinion that Pat is serious?
I think they're both serious. They wouldn't be seeing each other if they weren't.
Have you spoken to him?
I've spoken to him. His mother's spoken to him.
So what does he say?
He says that they're very much in love with each other. Look, they tried staying apart. That didn't work. Now they just want to be with each other all the time. That's all they can think about.
This morning on the plane, I was thinking perhaps together we might find some way to do something constructive.
weird, and a friend of mine walks in through the door and says, listen, I don't want your son seeing my daughter anymore because he's unsuitable. Huh. And I'm agreeing with him.
Well, I was hoping that you'd understand.
It's not our kids. It's not as like what Maeve says. What would their children be?
Ah. I wish I didn't believe that it was so important, but it is vital to us.
It is for us, too.
If your Patrick and my Nancy keep seeing each other, they'll start thinking about marriage. It's inevitable.
Yeah. There are times when marriage isn't such a hot idea.
Married? Married to whom?
Who? My friend Arthur, the lawyer from Seattle that I went out with last night? Remember?
Yeah. You two got away before Mary and I came downstairs.
Yeah, and you were all sound asleep when we poured in last night, too. Poured in was about it.
He wants you to marry him.
That's what he said. Of course, he promises me everything when he's been drinking. He really loves me. He wants us to get married and settle down in Seattle.
That is quite a piece of news.
Uh-huh.
So, what'd you tell him?
Well, I haven't told him anything, actually.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. There's a lot to be said for accepting.
Do you love him?
No. But I like him a lot. We spent a couple of days together out in Seattle on the school strike. He was defending me, which was not easy. And we lived together for a little while, which was. He wanted me to marry him then.
Oh, why didn't you?
I guess I figured I had some things to finish up here at home. I mean, with the family. Only, it's been about a year now, and nothing much has gotten better, so I figure why not quit while things are relatively calm and marry him?
Marriage is tough enough for two people who love each other. I can't imagine how it could work any other way.
Well, he's a good person. He's honest. He's the nicest person I ever lived with. 3. All of them great guys, but Artie was the best because he never lost his temper or his sense of humor.
Yeah, well, I can see where somebody need a sense of humor if they were living with you.
Okay, he's got one, so?
Siobhan, have you ever been in love?
Not the way you mean, I don't think.
You sure?
If you mean have I ever felt the way Mary feels about you, the answer is I haven't.
Well, at least then you know where you're at.
Oh, I do. I envy Mary. Because she's been able to let it happen. I think that I'm still too scared. And maybe if I got married to Artie, then it would happen.
Siobhan, usually people get married after it happens.
Yes, I know that, but I'm 23 years old, and sometimes I feel all I'm doing with my life is hanging around here trying to get approval from my parents and my sister. I mean, maybe it's time I did something else.
I don't believe Siobhan Ryan said that.
Neither do I. But it's not as though I'm getting married because ho-hum, what else is there to do? Artie's a terrific guy, he really is.
Well, be patient and see how it works out.
Patience was never my long suit.
Well, not mine either, but I never got married because of that.
Well, there's another thing. Something around the house that's bothering me. I don't even know what it is.
What sort of something?
It's hard to put it into words. General tension?
Well, that's not enough reason to go out and marry some guy you don't love, no matter how likable he is. Your turn to be in love will come just like everybody else's.
How can you be so sure?
Because if it can happen to an old cynic like me, it's sure to happen to somebody as pretty and generally wonderful as you are.
Pretty, generally wonderful. Who the hell is going to think of that?
Well, I'm only your brother-in-law, so I guess I don't count.
That's
huh?
right. I'm glad you said it, though, anyway. I want to be in love. I want to have somebody besides you who thinks that I'm pretty and generally wonderful and that I can feel the same way about.
It'll happen. You see.
You don't know that. I mean, I can't help wondering if maybe it wouldn't just be easier if I solved my problems by saying yes to Artie. Know what I mean?
Both look great.
See you, lad. Yeah, it's Frank, darling.
How are you?
Merciful heaven, isn't it? A treat.
Oh, it is, it is. It's good being home. Just walking through that door makes me feel better.
Hey, listen, how long can you stay? How about dinner with us tonight?
Sure. I have set up a schedule of meetings in New York for things that I've been putting off for today and tomorrow, but dinner sounds great. But right now, I need to consult with Ma about something.
Oh, I'm impressed. A United States Senator consulting with his old mom.
Well, shows you still got some sense left.
Come on into the kitchen, son. I've got some things on the stove, and don't break it down.
All right. It's good to see Frank back here again.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Listen, Kevin, you hold the fort here for a minute, will ya? I want to get a paper.
I suppose you must.
Bit of tea.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Now, we'll start. What do you have on your mind, son?
Well, it's about Dee. I need to know how she is.
Delia? Why, all things considered, I think she's in the best form I've ever seen her. Well, that is, being herself.
What do you mean?
Well, I think Dr. Pagano and Aunt Roger really helped her to pull herself together. That, and of course, all the profits she's making in the commodities market. I mean, that can't be hurting her either.
Oh, now, don't tell me she's still dragging around in that big fur coat showing off.
No. She's got that away in storage for the summer. Thank the Lord. No, I mean, I think she's got less fear than I've ever seen in her before. And she's certainly much more independent. She doesn't use us the same way she did.
Well, that must be a big relief.
Oh, let me tell you, it is.
Tell me, how are she and Roger getting along?
Oh, like two peas in a pod. Everyone feels they're made for each other. I'm beginning to believe they are.
That sounds as if it's good news. I was hoping she'd be in good shape, because that way there would be just a chance that she might be a little more cooperative.
Cooperative? Mm-hmm. In what way?
Well, Ma, from the looks of things, if I am ever going to get that annulment, then I'm going to have a statement from Dee, backing up my claim that, well, that she was, how should I say it, emotionally unstable when we were married. That there was a serious impediment to the marriage. That she was trying to marry into the family instead of just marrying me.
Well, is there some reason that you're so concerned about this annulment right now?
Yeah, Ma, there is. I've asked Ray to marry me.
Oh, Francis.
Now, look, I realize that you and Da have some reservations.
Well, it's not for us to say, but...
Look, I know the major thing that Ray and I have in common is a love for politics and everything that goes with it. I know that, but there is much more to it.
Well, I would hope so.
Ray loves me. She provides me with emotional sustenance in a great many generous ways. And I love her.
You do?
Yeah. She loves little John. She wants to make a home for him as much as I do. Go on.
I'm afraid you're not going to like what I have to say.
I want to hear it anyway. Please.
Marriage is a sacrament, and it's for a lifetime. At least it should be.
Yeah.
I don't like to have to comment on the woman that you've chosen to share your lifetime, son, but I must.
I've said it's okay.
Yes, and you've also said that you love her. I must tell you that I have such a well of disbelief about that in me that I can barely speak of it. I don't believe that you love Ray Woodard any more than I can believe that she's this domestic person who is just waiting to make a home for little John.
I'm not sure how I can convince you.
I think that would be very hard. I mean, you'd have to persuade me to deny all my instincts where it comes to Ray. Francis, you must know that I would love to find it in my heart to rejoice for you in a new marriage, but I can't. I mean, it's a mistake. I mean, this marriage would be just a formalizing of a professional relationship.
No, there's more to it than just that, Ma.
Son, politics has been your life for the past number of years, and Ray's been part of that, but nothing more.
Look, I know you were hoping that, well, that we would be able to work things out between Jill and me, but
This has nothing to do with Jillian, darling. I'm talking about your whole future. I hope, for everyone's sake, that you take this time that you'll be given in order to obtain your annulment, if you obtain it at all, to really consider what it is that you're doing here.
I have thought about it for a long time.
Search your heart, Francis.
I will. I have.
Well, since you've obviously made such a commitment to her already, I'll try, I promise, to reconsider and re-examine my feelings on Ray, but I don't want to be unfair to you, son.
Now, being in disagreement, it's not being unfair, okay? I better call Delia. I want to see her first thing tomorrow.
Frank told me to tell you he'll be back around dinner time. And Maeve would like to see you if you have a moment. She's gone upstairs.
Thanks, Siobhan.
Bad?
The worst. I lost everything. I'm wiped out.
Oh, John.
The last hard-earned cent Maeve and I have saved. Commodities. I'd have more pleasure from that money if I'd started a bonfire with it and lit the fat match myself.
Ah, John, I'm sorry. This is really a terrible situation now.
Last penny we had put by. Hello, Ryan.
Good morning, Mr. Ryan. Horace Grimley.
Hello there, Mr. Grimley.
May I say first how sorry I am that your investments in cocoa beans have been so unsatisfactory.
Unsatisfactory? They're a disaster.
Yes, quite so. May I assume that you'll be getting out of commodities?
Getting out. I am out. Over. Finished. Kaput.
Yes, well, I anticipated that, so if you'll send me a check for $5,000...
What? Wait. Check? What kind of a check?
Well, your contracts have sunk below your original investment, Mr. Ryan. You have a deficit in your account of $5,000.
Wait a minute. You're saying I owe you another $5,000?
Yes, as of the opening of the market this morning. May I have the check by noon?
But there was a cutoff.
No, Mr. Ryan, there wasn't.
Oh, I know there was.
No. When you made your original investment in tin and aluminum, there was a cutoff so that you couldn't lose more than you invested. But when you switched to new potatoes and after that to cocoa beans, that cutoff order wasn't made.
I assumed it was automatic.
Well, unfortunately, your assumption was incorrect.
Look, Mr. Grimley, I'm not a rich man. In fact, I'm a very, very, very poor man. You've seen all my money go down the drain. Now, where do you expect me to come up with another $5,000 by noon?
Mr. Ryan, I don't know. But you do understand that you still own the cocoa bean contracts and that you're responsible for them. The longer you take to settle your account, the greater the chances are that cocoa beans will continue to decline. You could find yourself owing even more money.
Where am I going to get the money?
Mr. Ryan, you must find a way.
Well, maybe there's somebody... Look, can it wait Till tomorrow morning.
Well, morning in New York is mid-afternoon in Europe. A whole day of commodity training will have passed.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'll have to come up with something.
Of course, there's always a chance that cocoa beans will reverse themselves today.
That's right. They could do that, couldn't they?
It's a possibility. But, Mr. Ryan, please don't count on it. I urge you to find the money to settle your account as quickly as possible.
All right, I'll get right out and do something. I'll call you when I have the money in hand.
All right, Mr. Ryan. I'm really sorry to have been the bearer of such bad news.
That's all right. Not your fault.
You owe $5,000?
Yeah, and if I don't come up with it right away, I may owe a lot more.
Well, Mary might have some savings, and Patrick,
Kevin,
you know, would
come
take...
on. I can't borrow from my own kids. Let's see. Nick Szabo. Nick Szabo's got the money. He's an old friend of mine. All right, how can I do that to Frank? Senator's father discovered in debt to
Organized crime, yeah. That wouldn't look well at all.
But I'll think of something. Maybe there'll be a rally tomorrow. Maybe things will get better. I ought to at least wait till then, and then I can come up with something.
Parties, boys, and drama. Oh my! Catch up with the 5 sexy singles who are putting a new spin on Southern charm. Don't miss an all-new Southern Bells Louisville, Thursday at 10 on SoapNet.